A warrior rides home from battle, exhausted and victorious, when a stranger steps into his path. No army, no guards, just bread, wine, and a blessing spoken in the name of God Most High. Then he vanishes from the pages of Scripture, and nobody ever explains who he really was. His name is Melchizedek. Genesis gives him no father, no mother, no birth, no death. Just 4 verses, and silence. And yet centuries later, a psalm calls him a priest forever, and the New Testament uses him to make one of the boldest claims ever made about Jesus Christ. Why would an obscure king who appears once in the entire Bible become the key to understanding an eternal priesthood? To understand why this brief encounter mattered so much, we have to picture the world Abraham was riding through. This is roughly 2,000 years before Christ, a land of small city-states, each ruled by its own king, each loyal to whichever war coalition kept them alive. Abraham had just done the unthinkable. 4 powerful kings had swept through the region, crushed their enemies, and dragged off captives, including Abraham's own nephew, Lot. Abraham gathered 318 men, launched a night raid, and broke an army that should have been unbeatable. He is riding back through the valley near Salem, dust on his clothes, adrenaline still burning, when the king of that city walks out to meet him. This is where the scene turns strange. Melchizedek doesn't come demanding tribute, the way a king should after a foreign army just marched through his territory. He comes bearing bread and wine, symbols of covenant and communion. And Genesis quietly drops a second title alongside his crown, priest of God Most High. Not a priest of some local deity, but of the one true God, standing in a land otherwise thick with idols. He blesses Abraham. And Abraham, the man carrying God's own covenant, responds by giving the stranger 1/10 of everything he has won. Then Melchizedek is gone. No genealogy recorded. No death mentioned. He simply exits history. If you're enjoying tracing threads like this through Scripture, this is exactly what mystery to meaning is built around, taking a moment the Bible barely explains and following it all the way to where it finally makes sense. Sticking around for that journey is the best way to catch what's coming next. For almost 1,000 years, Melchizedek disappears from the biblical record entirely. Then David writes Psalm 110, and God makes a staggering declaration about a coming king. You are a priest forever, in the order of Melchizedek. This should stop us cold. Israel's priesthood ran through Aaron and the tribe of Levi, a strict bloodline passed from father to son. So why does God reach back 1,000 years to a forgotten Canaanite king to describe the priesthood of the Messiah, instead of simply using Aaron's line? The book of Hebrews finally answers that question, and it does so by pointing straight at the silence in Genesis. No recorded ancestry. No recorded death. In a culture obsessed with lineage, that omission wasn't an accident, Hebrews argues. It was a pattern, deliberately left in Scripture, resembling the Son of God, a priest who remains forever. Scholars still debate exactly what that means. Some see Melchizedek as fully human, a real Canaanite king-priest whose city, Salem, likely became Jerusalem, and whose missing genealogy is simply an argument from silence that later writers use typologically. Others go further, suggesting this may have been Christ himself appearing before Bethlehem, since Hebrews describes him in language of permanence that seems to go beyond mere symbolism. And ancient Jewish texts found among the Dead Sea Scrolls describe Melchizedek as a heavenly, almost messianic figure, showing that speculation about his identity was already alive centuries before the New Testament was written. Scripture itself never fully settles which view is correct. What it does settle is the point Hebrews is making with him. The Levitical priesthood was limited by bloodline and ended at death, requiring constant renewal. But the priesthood of Melchizedek pictures something the old system never could, a priesthood resting not on ancestry, but on the power of an indestructible life. That is what Hebrews claims Jesus fulfills, a permanent priest whose intercession never runs out, because unlike every priest before him, he did not stay dead. So a man who appears for 4 verses, born from nowhere, vanishing into nowhere, becomes the pattern God uses to explain how his son could serve as priest forever. If God planted that seed 1,000 years before anyone could understand it, what does that tell you about how deliberately this entire story was written? If this exploration added something to how you see Scripture, consider giving it a like, and subscribing to Mystery to Meaning for more journeys like this one. I'd love to hear in the comments which theory about Melchizedek feels closest to the truth to you. Until next time, keep seeking the mystery, and discover the meaning.